Hi folks, I'm down at the studio and I thought I'd jump on here a minute or two early to let a few of you join me for today's Teachable video, Tika's Teachables. I'm Tika and I am happy to have you here today at the studio with me. Before I get started, I wanted to show you what was dropped off today. Our friend Ben Wood, pottery artist that was here recently, brought by the finished products from our class a couple weeks ago. And I just wanted to show you my beautiful piece. I love to see the finished product here. You guys see that? With the dragonfly and some dandelions. So I love the way these turned out. They're gorgeous. There's some goodies. But there's the inside glaze. It's pretty. And if you're local, he's doing a subscription service to build your own place setting. Or a set of dishes is what it equals. I started that a few months ago, getting my own, and it's been fun to see the packages arrive. And I've got a couple plates now, a couple mugs, and these will be a nice addition to it. The ones I'm getting are in the green, and it actually matches the green he's got on here. He also has a cream color and that blue that's on the inside. All three of those are choices that he gives. If you want his information, it's all backwards on there for you, but it's Ben Wood, and you can find him at benwoodartist.com. So anyway, thanks for dropping those off, Ben. I am going to do a painting demonstration today. I wanted to give you a little bit of instruction on florals. I'm feeling it. It's spring. We've had sun and rain, and I think we had hail earlier today. It also sounded like a monsoon. But anyway, I want to keep the timeline going. If you're just joining me, feel free to say hello. I can see your comments today. I went ahead and prepped this canvas. You can see it's kind of like a minty color, pale. I wanted to get that going so that I can move on to the next part. Hi Courtney. All right, so I am using three basic colors. I'm using my primaries. I've got yellow, magenta, and cobalt blue, and white. And then I have a 1-inch flat brush, that one. I have a 1/2-inch flat brush, that one. And a round brush. Is it gonna focus? And no. Anyway, take my word for it. I need to get some more white real quick because I used it all for the other. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is show you how I load my brush. I wanna wet the brush first, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. There we go. All right, so what I like to do is I'm gonna get magenta, and I'm just gonna move some of it over here. I'm also gonna get white, and I wanna lighten it up for a nice pink. You can see that there. Now, I'm not gonna use pink on the whole brush, so I'm gonna rinse that out. If you were using more than one brush, you could definitely just switch brushes. So I'm gonna get white on one side and pink on the other. See that? And then I'm going to work that into the brush by going back and forth in the same spot. You can see it worked it into the bristles a little bit more. And then I'm gonna come over here, and I want the white on the bottom side. Okay, so I've got it a little bit darker at the bottom of my canvas. I've got the pink at the top of the brush. And I'm just gonna bring in a few little marks like that. You see that? All right. Hi, Stacy. All right, the way to reload that brush is just by picking up the same colors again and working it back and forth on the palette in the same spot just so that it fills up the paint again. The next thing I'm gonna do is finish going around like so. Not real complicated. Reload my brush. And I'm gonna come in the center here and go around. And I'll do it again. Reload my brush. If you do like I just did right now and stuck it in the wrong side, I stuck the pink side in the white and the white side in the pink, I gotta rinse it out again, and then I'll just pick up those colors on each corner again. And I've fixed that. So now I can come in here and I'm getting my flower built up here. This is really awkward doing it upside down. There are a number of different ways to do this. This is my modified version of a one-stroke technique. And I'm gonna actually turn it this way, see if you can see that a little bit better. Bring that back in, and then I'll go around. I'm losing my pink, sorry guys. It's a perfect example of it doesn't always go right just because you're the teacher. There we go. All right, so it could be better, but you get the general idea. I've got kind of an open rose going on there. I'm gonna use the same big brush there to mix some blue and yellow. I want a nice green. The nice thing about a flat brush is that you can get a thin line by keeping it on its edge. Now I'm gonna line my brush back up with the line of my stem, and I'm gonna pull and twist to get a leaf shape. I'm gonna come up just a little bit so it offsets, and I'll go the opposite direction. I got another leaf there. So I can add in other flowers here. Let's see, I'll have this stem come from behind, maybe off to the side. And this time I'm gonna use the 1/2" brush. I'll get some pink on there. You see that? Little rosebud. Stacy, the girls that are watching, they're enchanted. Oh, lovely. Thanks for joining, guys. All right, so I've got that little pink rosebud there. I'm gonna get some green on that little brush again. And this time I'm gonna line it up and I'm gonna kind of cup in the rosebud. So it looks like it's at the end of that stem. I can put a couple leaves in here as well. And I think I'll put in a few more. I like using this smaller brush because it gives me a little more room for a little more flexibility here. So that big one is in the center. I want to leave that as kind of my focal point here, but I want to add in some others. So I'm going to have one actually cross over it, and I'm going to go ahead and put the leaf on that one now. Now this one, I'm not going to make as light of a pink. I'm going to use more of the magenta with just a tiny bit of white in it. Now, I picked up a little bit of the white on the corner of this one here. I'm going to leave that towards my stem, and I'm going to do a little, like a C right there, and then I'm going to come back on it and close it so you can kind of look into the rosebud. And again, I'll rinse that out, pick up some of my green, and I'll cup into that one too. See that there? And let's add another little one here, like it's just coming off the side. This one will be tiny. Hopefully you guys can see this okay. It would help if I got green on the brush instead of pink when I want it. It's been that kind of day. All right, so this one is gonna be a tiny little bud. Now, roses usually have some of those, the leaves that close around the bud, they usually peel back and curl as the flower opens up. So I want to add that to one of my flowers, like over here. I can just use the round brush and kind of curl it under. Okay, I could do another one, maybe opening off to the side there. Let's see. I don't want to go overboard with that or it'll start looking strange. So just a small example of some roses. If I wanted to do, let's see, how about a couple daisies? I'm going to stick with using that round brush. I'm going to mix some magenta with some yellow so I get a nice orange. And there's my brush. I'm going to put this up here. So you could mark this with a circle just so you have the center of your flower. Hi Bev, thanks for joining. I just want something to aim for in the center. So in doing this, I'm going to pull out and I'm pressing till it opens up. And then as I pull towards that circle, I lift so it narrows. There's my flower petal for the daisy. And I'm going to do that going all the way around. Press and then lift up as I pull in. I've had flowers on my mind all week. My backyard is starting to bloom. And then the other day, one of the pastors from my church dropped by to bring flowers. And they're just gorgeous. There's something about flowers, fresh flowers in the house. Okay, so I have those other ones. I want to make them look like they're kind of going behind that rose there. Oh, thanks, Bev. I don't know about awe, but I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, so there's kind of the opening. I'm going to lighten that with more yellow and a little bit of white for the next layer. I want it just a little brighter than that first color I used. And I'm going to kind of offset them in between here. So I'll do the same thing and pull in. And I'm not too worried about getting complete coverage in this brush stroke, just because it keeps it interesting if there's a little variety in there. Okay, so I've gone all the way around. That's pretty simple. It's very full and it's straight on. If I was doing this for a project or a class, I would probably have that tilted a little bit more. Like I could have another one. Actually, why don't we put another one over there? We'll have a side turned one over here, and I'll do the same thing, but only halfway. And some of that darker one. All right, so that's gonna be a side turned flower. Rinse that brush out. And I don't have brown on my palette, but I'm going to hi Angie and Elisa, hi guys. if you don't have brown, one thing you can do is take your orange. So I've got yellow and red mixed already, or the magenta. And if I add a little bit of blue into it, I am gonna get brown. Now I know you can't see my palette because I can only hold one thing at a time. All right, so take my word for it. We've got brown up there now. I added blue into my orange. So it's basically using all three of the primary colors. Now I'm gonna come around here and I'm just using the tip of the brush to do a short little brush stroke. I'm going for kind of a Gerber a daisy. I'll bring that around. And I don't want it smooth, so I'm giving short little brush strokes there to fill it in on my daisy. That's not the prettiest looking daisy I've ever seen, but it'll work. All right, so gives you an idea there. And I'm gonna switch back to my 1/2" flat brush with some green. Get that on my brush here. Okay, so this one here, I want it to be kind of a cap on that brush, on that open flower, the one that's turned sideways. And give it a little hook because it's gonna bend. And then this one here, you can't really see. Well, I'll put my stem, I'll sneak it in there. You see that? All right, so a couple flowers for you, and I thank you guys for joining today. I will post this video later, and it'll be available on Instagram TV and on YouTube, our YouTube channel. If you haven't checked that out already, be sure and subscribe there so that you get these. If you're not on Facebook when we go live, there are other ways to watch it. And I thank you for joining. If you haven't checked out our Wonderland art auction going on right now, you have about 30 hours left, a little more than that. Ends at midnight tomorrow, so be sure and check that out, and I'll see you next week. Thanks.